Hello everybody, this is Sakane. Welcome to Let's Play Sword of the Stars Episode 3. So, as we continue in our game, let's just advance in time here. Let's see if we can get our research. We'll end another turn. Okay, so first research is complete. We've got our Waldo units over here. So now you can see we've got a new technology that's been unlocked, and right away I can tell you that there's normally also another tech over here that we didn't discover as the hivers. So that's life. Okay, so what I'm going to do next in terms of tech is, well, you know, I'm sure that it is by far not the most efficient or the best strategy out there. There are plenty of people you can find on the forums who I'm sure are much better at this game than I am, but this kind of, I think, will be nice to illustrate sort of how you can play the game. So, like I was saying earlier, we're going to get some better fission engines so that we can send our gates out without using tankers. Now, one of the things that we just got with this tech was a new ship section. So why don't we take a look at ship designing right now. So let's hit D to go to ship design. So these are the designs that you start the game with. So the hivers start with this thing called a gate. And if you look over here, these are the three sections, right, that your ship has. So engines, mission, and command. Usually the mission is the principal section, and that kind of defines what your ship does. So what's really nice when you play hivers is that the gate ships are actually really good combat ships generally, except they don't move. But that does mean that in every one of your systems, you're always going to have at least that one combat ship. So when other empires send their little, extended range scouts at you, they usually die to a gate ship. So over here, we've got three sections, and here's a overview of what our ship looks like. And you see this, here we have light turrets. And I was going to say we have 3, but in fact we have 5 in total because some of these are double. If you click on him, see the engine here has 2 turret mounts, 2 more turret mounts, and then in front we have 1. See, this is what I meant when I was saying how the hivers have great engine sections. If we take a look at a more normal kind of fighting ship, like the armor section, right, so here just the engine section alone has these 4 light mounted turrets, and that's not counting all the other turrets that you could have over here, right? So your armor section has 2 medium mounts and some light mounts, and now when we researched our Waldo units, we got a new command section, which is the hammerhead mount. So the hammerhead gives us extra light mounts at the front, which is nice. So we could, and we will, make a new gate ship with the hammerhead mount instead, because why not have more guns? But we're going to wait until we get our better engines, because right now we don't need that. So we're not going to save anything now. That's just a overview of what is to come. So let's keep moving along as this guy gets closer and closer. By the way, like a human ship would take about 2 turns, maybe even 1 turn to get here. It's taking us 12 turns. So yeah, the hivers are really slow. Okay, research complete. So we just got pulsed fission drive. So this is our first better engine section. So let's talk about engines. Going to the design. So if we look here in our ship specifications, this is our gate design. You see here it says range 5, speed 0.5, and tactical speed 30. So speed 0.5 is how fast it moves not in a tactical fight, but like to get from one star system to the other. So 1 is I guess light speed, we could say. So if my star system's 5 away, then if it moved at 1, it would take 5 turns to get there. So hivers are very slow, so our fission goes at 0.5, which is why it's taking us 12 turns to get there. And the range is how far we could get without needing extra fuel. This tactical speed is how fast we are in combat. So we just got pulsed fission. So if I put pulsed fission, now I can go 7 units without needing a tanker, and I go a little bit faster, and I have better speed in combat. Now, unfortunately, 7 range is probably still not enough. Let's see. 8.8. I think that's our closest one. So it's still not far enough. So it's not even worth it for us to build this design yet, because we're not going to be able to use it. 8.8 is the closest one. And then there's 10 point somethings. Okay. So that means we're going to research more. So we're actually going to research both of these. Let's get the recombinant fissionables first. Oh, I didn't. This button is kind of like the escape. Normally in Windows we're used to having it in the top right. This is also where you get the kind of escape menu that you'd have in other games, like save and options and whatnot. Anyways, so let's research that. And we're at 88%. Got it. So now, oops, sorry about that. So actually now, if we take a look, the recombinant fissionables, what they do is you can tack them on as a bonus by checking this box. Notice that, the more fancy things you add, your ship gets more expensive. So now our range went from 7 to 10. So that's actually good enough to get to our first system. So let's go ahead and make a gate like this. Now these light weapon mounts, we could either put Gauss cannons or red lasers. These are particle weapons or energy weapons. Notice the difference in the stats. So the Gauss cannon does about twice the damage, but it's about half as accurate as the laser beam. Honestly, for now, it doesn't really make a difference, so we'll just leave it like this. You can name your ships. For now, I'm not going to name them. Maybe if you guys want me to give them names, I can do that. So we've got our new one. So we're going to obsolete the old design. Remove design. In fact, let's remove all of these designs. Good. Okay, so we're done. And alright, so I want to build one of these, but it's going to cost me money, and I don't have any money. So how much is it going to cost? It's going to cost 42. So this time, instead of going into deficit spending right away, let's get started on our next research. We're going to wait one turn and make the money that we need. So I'm hitting E. I'm going to go to Empire. I'm going to make 40,000. There we go. Okay. Now, see, if I'd been really good, I would have planned this ahead of time and made sure I had the money by the time the research ended, but no biggie. Okay, so I've got my 40,000 now. I'm going to make the gate. See here, it's taking up almost all of my resources, but that's fine. And, you know, let's keep a little bit of green here so that we can anticipate and actually have some money for next time we need it. Okay, I've got my ship. It can go 10. So as I hit the M key, you can see that I can almost make it to all these places, but I actually can make it here. 15 turns. Okay. Going 4 turns. Okay, looks like we're getting really close here. Next turn, we'll get to the system. Okay, we have discovered our first new system. So let's take a look at it. Piskepron. Okay, so unfortunately for us, although kind of what I expected, this is not a suitable system for colonization. So we talked about these stats before, and actually size 5 and resources over 5k is actually quite decent of a planet. The problem is it is not suitable for our race. So this climate hazard is a number, and that ranges, you know, from like 0 to about 1200 maybe in the worst case. And this number is so bad, it's so high, and in fact we just don't have the technology to colonize this properly. So the cost is prohibitive. We can't even colonize it if we wanted to. But we will deploy our gate, so special deploy gate. We'll deploy that one. And now our ships can actually, you know, move from this gate point. You see there are a lot of gates here, a lot of other destinations that are within the 10 of the range of our current gate ships. So next turn this gate will be deployed, so we're going to be able to send ships through it. So we're going to build as many gates as we can. Well, we could build more, but we'd be deficit spending. We don't want to do that. So let's give ourselves more money so the turn after that we can build even more gates. Next turn. By the way, I mean, we could have been really lucky and gotten a nice, suitable planet for colonization, in which case, in retrospect, it would have been better to get some of these early biological texts, including one called atmospheric adaptation, which is very important to get. But I kind of knew that the odds of that happening were very low, so instead that's why I'm going for these engine technologies first, so that we can explore more systems quicker and actually find those suitable systems for colonization. Okay, so I'm hitting I here, so here's our original tanker that went out. We kind of don't really need him anymore, but I'm going to hang on to him. I'm going to bring him back to the home world. So notice, next turn, it just takes one turn to come back. And that's what's really powerful about hivers. Okay, so let's split these guys up, and let's send them on their way. So I'm going to try to get to all these systems, so it doesn't really matter which one I get to first. Although, see, this is not very smart, because I could just wait till this gate gets here and then send it through there, and that would actually take a lot less time. So let's go, let's at least send him here, and let's build a couple more gates. Only 9,000 in the red, that's not so bad. Okay, we've finally made it. Again, uncolonizable by us. Nice size, a little bad on the resources, but doesn't really matter, we can't even colonize it. but it'll help us get to other ships. Okay, here's a little trick. If you have like these tankers, I wanted to hold on to them, and I'll tell you why later, but I don't want them to bother me to come up in my cycling when I hit the I key at the beginning of each turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flag as guard. There's a keyboard shortcut for this, which is Control-Shift-G. And what that does is they're going to kind of go into their own little, kind of like this deployed gate here that doesn't show up when I cycle through. So they're just going to be kind of inactive and they're not going to bother me, but when I want them, the ships are not deleted. If I wanted to delete the ship, I would do scuttle. But I don't want to do that yet. So, by the way, we got our long-range fission tech. So now, I am going to start this biological research because, you know, within the next, say, 10 to 12 turns, I am expecting find a suitable colonizable world, and I want to actually be able to colonize it when I get there. So let's get this started. Let's design, update our design. So we've got finally the long-range fissionables. Long-range fission is actually unique to the hivers. And notice here, so I have 13 range now, which is great range. Just obsoleting my old design. Yeah, so there are very few of these, but there are a couple of unique techs for each of the races, and this one here is unique to the hivers. Okay, so if you have a stack and you want to split them all into ones, that shortcut split ships is very useful for that. Okay, let's go. Let's deploy these guys. And let's build more gates. Alright, I'm having really bad frame rates now. I must be trying to process something in the background, so sorry about that. Try to fix it later on. Okay. All right. Let's send this tanker back here. So now I can go all the way, I can go 13 away. So let's, can't quite make it there. But I can make it there. And over here. And, yeah, I'll build another gate. And my research is done. So the first one just makes better population growth, but here's the money tech. So, sorry, this frame rate is really annoying. Okay, so these are two really good techs. So suspended animation gives you this buff to your colony ships, and it's a quick and cheap thing to get. And then atmospheric adaptation, which is a really important one, increases terraforming efficiency. And it will allow us to colonize more difficult worlds. I'll get into the whole colonization thing, I think, in the next episode, or as soon as we find a decent system to actually colonize. And you'll see why those stats are important. Okay, so I'm just going to drag this tanker into this guy, so that they don't bother me until I need them, possibly later on. Alright, how about up here? Good. Gate. Let's build 2. close is this guy? 1 turn. Okay. Alright, so actually, well, I built 2, but I only needed to build 1. Well, no, that's good. I can still send them to these places. Okay, so let's actually build the next one anyways, and let's see what we get here. Alright. So, we found our first world that we could colonize, although I don't think we're going to colonize it right away, although it is a pretty good world. But let's get into the details of that in the next episode. So I'm just going to wrap this up by deploying the gate and sending off I'll send him off to the red down here, because this guy will be faster if I wait till the gate's deployed. Okay, you know, let's leave it at that for now, and I'll see you guys shortly.